back to On the Wild, episode number 46. I'm Anush Basker. With me, as always, Riley Keenan. Nothing much going really in the world of sports, other than the usual Ben Simmons rumors, and they're back this time to Portland.
Yeah, Damian Lillard came out and said he wanted him.
No, he didn't say it, but there's been rumors. Shams came out, Woj came out saying that he wants to play with Ben Simmons. There was also reports that he wanted out of Portland. Dame did, but he refuted it at a press conference or whatever. So Ben Simmons to Portland. What do you think about that and the fit with Dame?
I think it would be a nice move. Like, the problem is that the Sixers have already came out and said they don't want McCollum.
Yeah.
And that's the one piece in that move that's going to make it happen. You don't really have anybody else.
Talent-wise and also salary-wise. You have to match it somehow.
Exactly. So I don't really think that trade's going to happen. I think it would be one of the better ones if they did, because McCollum is probably one of the best guys you can get in return, but I think he's out for the year now anyways.
Yeah, because he's a collapsed lung.
Yeah.
Hopefully he's okay.
So, yeah, I hope he's okay. But, yeah, like, I think Simmons on Portland would be great. I think it would be a nice duo with him and Lillard, especially if he's playing 3 or the 4. But I just can't see it working. And at the same time, are you hearing all this about Damian wanting $55 million a year?
2 years.
Like, I love that he's loyal, and I love that a lot of people talk about him being loyal, but at the same time, it's like you're just pushing the agenda yourself almost. Like, you're loyal, but you're taking $55 million away from your team each year. You're not going to get the guy you need to help you win a championship. So when your career's over, I don't want to hear like, oh, I never won one. I didn't have another teammate. Well, you kind of screwed yourself over in that sense. But Ben Simmons would be that nice piece, but I don't know if they could keep them both under contract and be able to actually even make that trade.
Yeah. The way I look at it is that Portland's not going anywhere with their current roster.
Yeah.
They've tried the Dame and CJ thing for a bunch of years now. They made the Western Conference Finals in 2019.
Yeah.
And they lost in either 4 or 5 against Golden State. So they've peaked with the roster that they have now. So you may as well make a trade if you're going to make a trade for Ben Simmons. And the way I look at that fit, him and Dame, is sort of like Draymond and Steph in Golden State.
Yeah.
Just the way that they work. Ben Simmons can run the offense when needed. He can play defense. He can rebound and take it coast to coast like Draymond can. And I honestly think that Simmons is better than Draymond in a lot of those in a lot of ways.
I think so too.
Obviously, he can't shoot, or he doesn't shoot.
Yeah.
But his ability to set up Dame and that pick and roll would be deadly. So I think if they could make the trade, Portland should.
Yeah.
Philadelphia, I have no idea what they're doing. I don't know what they want for Ben Simmons. I don't know why they are valuing him so high.
Exactly.
Even though I know everybody knows he's a good player. It's just that his value is so low because everyone knows he wants out. Yeah. So you can't really get much for him.
If I was Philly, I'd try to make a move with either like Cleveland or maybe Minnesota. Try to get Sexton, but that's gonna be super tough because obviously Garland's there.
Sextons are also out for the season.
Yeah, there you go. And then with Minnesota, you could maybe get D'Angelo Russell and Michael Beasley, but I don't know if Malik Beasley. Sorry, Michael Beasley. Wow. Where has he been? But yeah, like,
very skilled player. He's
a very talented player.
Yeah, I've heard stories about how he and LeBron used to play 1-on-1 when they were in Miami, and Beasley would win most of the time. Yeah, he's very skilled.
He should have got a lot of more isolation because he's a good 1v1 player. Yeah, he's a good scorer, but
he's hilarious too.
Oh, go on. He's great. That 10% of your brain argument thing was that was crazy. But yeah, like with Minnesota, I just don't think that they would make that move because I don't know how Ben Simmons and Cat would work together. Both guys.
Anthony Edwards, he's the
he's the star of the team. But like the two guys have such injury problems already. But I don't know. I think D'Angelo Russell and Beasley would be a pretty nice return. But I think Minnesota might want more. So if you throw in like a Thibault in there, definitely not put in Maxey. I'd keep Maxey above anybody. Or besides Embiid. But yeah, like is there any other destinations you can think of that can actually put together a good package that?
You said Cleveland. I don't see how that works because Simmons, you need to use him in one of 2 ways. Either he runs the offense or he plays the 4. Yeah. They have Garland already who can run the offense. He's a great passer. And then down low they have Mobley and Jared Allen. So already. That spacing just wouldn't work if you were to play him at the 3. Because currently their starting lineup is a lineup straight out of 2K if you really look at it. It's Garland, Okoro, Lauri Markkanen, Evan Mobley, and Jared Allen. So you're really playing a 4 at the 3 with Markkanen. Yeah. And Markkanen can shoot a little bit, so it works in that sense because he can spread the floor. Ben Simmons can't do that, so that fit just doesn't really make sense.
Yeah.
And Okoro is not really a good shooter either, so you kind of need a shooter like Markkanen in the lineup.
Yeah. Like, Cleveland could put a good package together, but I don't think it would work.
Yeah. The only way it would work is if you... It's just not going to work regardless. Like, it's just not. And Indiana maybe, because they're trying to rebuild, and Ben Simmons is 24 years old. It's not like he's 28.
Yeah, maybe if you put, like, Brogdon...
No, because they want to get off LeVert
and
Sabonis.
Warren. They want to keep LeVert and Sabonis.
No, they're trying to get off of them.
Really?
They're trying to full-on rebuild.
Wow. I don't think I agree with that. Like, obviously, I'm not the general manager of the Pacers. They know what they're doing. But that's a playoff team. When you look at that starting five, they got a good amount of depth, too, with Holiday. And then, McConnell, great. What a leader that guy is. But, like, there's a lot of talent on that team. They haven't been healthy a lot. But I feel like if you made a move to get someone like Simmons, that could help you out a lot more rather than rebuilding. Because I think they've got enough pieces to go and make a playoff push. Maybe not go to the Eastern Conference Finals, but they're a good team. I don't know about rebuilding just yet.
I think with their current roster, like, you can't really do much with it because it's a good team, but it's not good enough. So you may as well restart.
But with Simmons, you could talk about other players too, but they could put a pretty good package together for Simmons. Warren, is it?
TJ Warren.
TJ Warren, yeah. I always think it's Warden for some reason, but Warren, and then Brogdon, you could give up, but I'd keep Brogdon. I'd say Brogdon and Sabonis are the two guys I'd keep, and then everybody else could be on the block. Like Turner, I guess that wouldn't work with Philly, but LeVert, like if I'm Philly, I'd be like, yeah, give me LeVert, give me Warren, and then there you go. Because then you got, who would it be? You'd have LeVert, Maxey, Harris, Warren, and Embiid.
Wait, what? Oh.
For Philly, if you were to make that trade, obviously.
Yeah. Indiana offered them a trade earlier in the offseason. It was Brogdon and a bunch of firsts for Ben Simmons.
I don't know why they wouldn't take that.
I thought they should have taken that. Because not only does Brogdon... Not only is he good, but he doesn't get paid that much.
Exactly.
Like, you probably would have had to add more things on Indiana's end or add in a third team just to match salaries. But I think Brogdon's a good fit for Philadelphia.
Yeah. I can't for the life of me understand why they didn't make that move. They know what they have with Simmons, and the rest of the league knows what they have with Simmons and what you're going to get from him. After that playoffs, he was abysmal scoring the ball, and there was no confidence there. So I don't understand why they were so picky with some of these trades.
I can see the Spurs, too.
The Spurs, yeah. Like, as long as you don't get rid of DeJounte Murray, I think that you could get a good return. Like, Keldon Johnson, I feel like he's a good player. The Sixers would want him. There's a couple guys.
I just don't think you can really get much if you're Philadelphia right now because, one, he hasn't played.
Yeah.
Two, he's coming off of the worst performance of his career in the playoffs, and I think everybody should understand that that's not like who he is as a player. Like, he's a really good player. He's an all-star. He's been an all-star 3 times, and he's an all-defensive player multiple times. All-defensive player. So he is a great player. It's just his value is really low.
Yeah.
So you just can't get much for him right now.
And
Unless he starts to play, which I don't see happening.
Yeah, I can't see that happening. And it doesn't help that, like, he's kind of being labeled as a locker room cancer. I don't think he is. I think it's just based on the environment he's in and what's happened.
Yeah.
But the way he's talking about, the way his teammates are talking about him, it doesn't look good to other teams to want to make a move for him. And fan bases are going to be, like, most fan bases would be mad, I feel like, getting Simmons, especially if you have to give up, 1 or 2 guys.
I think it just depends on the fan base. I think, like, a rebuilding team should love Ben Simmons because he's
so
24.
Young. Yeah, he's so young, so talented. He's nearly a 5-tool player in the NBA. He just needs to find that shot. And we've said it over and over. Everyone said it.
And
he can find it. He just needs to
see videos of him in the summer league, and he's pulling up from mid-range. He has a turnaround jumper. So I don't think it's that he can't shoot. It's just that he doesn't shoot.
Yeah. For the longest time, I thought he was kind of like baiting the league. And he's like, when you play 2K and you like the first couple sessions you go down, no one shoots a 3, so the team thinks you can't shoot, and then you just pull 3s the rest of the game. That's what I thought he was kind of doing. He's like, it makes the league think he can't, so they'll back up on him. But they'll back up and he still won't pull it.
Almost what DeRozan was doing for a couple years, where he even said, like, I don't shoot 3s because I can't shoot 3s. I just shoot 3s because everybody wants me to shoot 3s, so I don't want to. Which is kind
of a dumb reason.
A weird mindset to have, but
makes sense in a way.
I thought it would be kind of the same thing, but it's not. It's just, I don't even know what it is. He just doesn't shoot.
Yeah. Yeah, like it amazes me after this much time. So much has been said. Like, you know your problem. How have you not? Like, but when Pascal Siakam, he couldn't hit free throws. He wasn't a great shooter. He spent hours and hours and hours, days upon days in the gym just shooting. And look how much he's improved. Even Scotty Barnes. People said he shouldn't have been picked fourth. He can't shoot the ball. He's made like 10 of his last 21 threes in the last 5 games. Like, he's improving because he keeps just working on it.
Lonzo Ball.
Yeah, Lonzo Ball. It worked his ass off. Simmons, it just doesn't even seem like he's even trying. Like, a lot of the times you talk about the practices, like he's walked out or he's had arguments. It's like, just get to the free throw line, shoot there all day. All day. This is your job. You're getting paid millions of dollars. Be better at your job. If you have if you're in accounting and you don't know how to do a balance sheet, learn how to do a balance sheet. I don't know how to do a balance sheet. But you get what I mean. Yeah. It's just like, it kind of amazes me.
Yeah.
Like, you have such a great opportunity with the player you are. And you're just kind of taking advantage of it.
And he has all the resources too. See, he has a whole franchise behind him. And
yeah.
Just like the connections he's built, whether it's LeBron and just the whole Clutch sports agency, he has all the resources to improve. He just hasn't done it. You
have Seth Curry on your team. Go up to Seth Curry and say, "Hey, help me. Whatever you and Steph did as kids, teach me. Yeah. I'll do it." For real. That's all. I'd just be a sponge, just trying to soak up as much information as I can. Because there's so much talent there. He could be one of the greatest players of this generation. Easily.
He really could.
Like you said it before, and like I have to agree. Like, he is a top 3 defender in the league. Could be the best defender in the league if he really puts his mind to it.
Yeah. If he could be like I don't want to say LeBron type player, but like a LeBron type of like being able to control the game with his size and his speed and his passing ability. And if he doesn't even need a 3-point shot, just a 15-footer.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all you need.
If you can just pull it when you have that space, you're going to be fine. You don't have to shoot 25-footers and all these.
And not just have a good shot, but just shoot. Giannis doesn't have a good shot. Yeah. Or he didn't, but he kept shooting.
Kept working at it.
And it eventually got better.
Yeah. Like, Giannis kind of feeds into that of the people hating on him. Like, when he's at the free throw line taking forever, people are booing. Simmons is the kind of guy that would like change it a little bit. Giannis is the one that's like, no, I've been working on this. It's working for me. I'm going to keep going.
Yeah.
Something needs to change there, but moral of the story, I don't think Portland's the move. Cleveland's probably not the move. Definitely not the move.
I do think Portland's the move. It's just Philadelphia's too stubborn.
They're too stubborn, but if I'm Philadelphia, I wouldn't want anything from Portland. Like, McCollum maybe, but now that he's injured and he's also getting older, he's almost 30 now.
Yeah, they don't have much, but if you can add a third team in, maybe the NBA is weird like that, where you can make trades work even if you don't have any assets.
Yeah,
like the Lakers when they made the Russell Westbrook trade, like you would never think that they would have the assets to make that happen, but you add in a third team and all of a sudden it's possible.
Yeah, third team. Maybe if you did like Portland, Philly, and like Indiana, it would kind of work out perfectly. You can move like maybe a Brogdon to or no, I'd say probably Brogdon would go to like Philly. You get Simmons on Portland, and then Indiana can come out with like Thibault and
Thibault or something. If they really are trying to rebuild,
get some younger players from Portland.
Yeah.
Too bad Trent's not still there. That would be a good piece. Maybe no, Powell, you just signed there. It's tough, but like there's a lot of moves and a lot of opportunity. They just have to be willing to make a move, and they can't be stubborn because they don't like at this point. You don't really have the right to be. He just hasn't proved himself in that sense yet.
Yeah, Daryl Morey's come out and said that the only way that they're moving Simmons is if they get an impactful player in return. Well, that time already passed.
Yeah, it's far gone because now teams are building around what they have, and they're not going to want to change that.
Yeah.
At the beginning of the season, it was a hell of a lot easier. You also didn't really know what you had from some of these guys.
It's very hard to trade somebody who's making almost $30 million, whatever he makes, halfway through the season.
Yeah. That's
the type of move that you make in the offseason when teams actually are able to make that move.
Yeah. It's just it also kind of baffles me because it's like
it's kind of like Odell in a sense where the amount of money that he makes is kind of why they couldn't make a trade at the deadline is because nobody wanted to take on that $8 million that he was making for the rest of the season, so they had to cut him, and the Rams get him for minimum with incentives.
Like you can compare the Simmons and the OBJ situation perfectly because both teams have failed to capitalize on the opportunity they had in the offseason. If the Browns traded OBJ, they could have got a pretty good return for him, and you would have you'd have the plan and the system going into the season, whereas you don't have instead now you have drama during the season. Same thing with Ben Simmons. You knew what you were going to get from him. Same with OBJ. You knew the chemistry isn't there between Embiid and Simmons. The chemistry is not there between Baker and OBJ. It's just like you have to, and even Doc Rivers doesn't mess with Simmons. So it's like if your head coach doesn't mess with him, make the move. It's just not going to work.
And this whole thing is Philadelphia's fault. Like, as much as they want to put it on Simmons, and now he doesn't improve. Doc Rivers called him out after Game 7. Joel Embiid cited the play where he passed up an open dunk as the play that kind of changed the momentum of the game.
Yeah.
Which it did.
It did.
But when you're a teammate, you don't say that about your co-star.
Yeah, you don't do that.
And you don't say, "Oh, I don't know if we can win a championship with Ben Simmons at point guard." If you're Doc Rivers.
That is a locker room conversation. And also, if you're Doc Rivers, you know his issues. Why are you not going up to him in practice and hounding on him? He's an NBA player. Go Michael Jordan on his ass. Do whatever you have to do to get the best out of your player. That's your job as the coach. You're getting paid millions to do this. And you can't really complain about him. Obviously, if he's just going to... When he passes up a dunk like that, that's completely on Simmons. You can't be doing that. But there's clearly other times where there's opportunity there to change. And neither side has really been willing to...
Yeah.
Obviously, at the end of the day, we're on the outside looking in. We don't really know what's... But, like, from what we've heard, it just doesn't sound like there's
seems like nobody's, like, holding anybody accountable.
Exactly,
over there. And just, like... It's just turned into a mess to where, I mean, you just have to get rid of them at some point.
Yeah. But we wanted to quickly touch on the Blue Jays because there's a little bit of panic going around in Toronto right now after losing Semien and Ray, which is understood.
I'm not that mad.
I'm not that mad. It's a little sad, but I didn't really expect either to re-sign. Yeah. I was hoping to get one, but it's fine. You lose the third place MVP voter and Cy Young, so that's tough. But hey, they got Gausman. That was a nice pickup. He'll be probably the number 1 or 2 guy in the rotation.
Really, not Barrios?
I think if I had to pick right now, I think. I want to say they'll give Barrios day 1 start, but I feel like that was almost an incentive in the contract to be like, hey, we'll give you the opening day start, Gausman. But it couldn't be in the Barrios contract either. Either or, they'll be the number 1 and 2, and then Rios at 3, Manoah 4, who. It was like
Manoah came on though.
Yeah, he came on real good. It was like 9-3, 10-3 record, and then you got probably Ross Stripling will be your 5th starter, if not Pearson, if he can figure it out and not get hurt throughout the year, he could be there. You signed Garcia as well. They needed a reliever, and they still should get a couple more.
And we talked about it before when they didn't make the playoffs. I said like they just need pitching.
Yeah,
it's like all around just pitching.
Exactly, the hitting's there, and even after losing Semien, like
you still have Bichette, you still have.
Springer,
Hernandez. You still have so many players.
Gurriel had an incredible season. There's a lot of guys that could fill in that spot in the infield for Semien right now. You got Espinal, who hit great throughout the season. Bijou, I hopefully can have a comeback here. But if not, they still have a lot of salary cap room. They have a lot of trade targets that they can go out and get, and they have so many guys that they can be willing to trade. Bijou and Espinal are phenomenal trade packages for other teams. They're both young guys, middle infielders that can play almost everywhere in the field. There's a lot of opportunity for this Jays team, and I don't think the Semien and the Ray signings, or losing those guys, is going to hurt them at all. They're still... I would take the Blue Jays lineup over any lineup in baseball for the next 10 years. And I think most baseball teams would agree. So Jays fans, there's no reason to be worried. There's such a young team right now. There's a lot of opportunity there. It's going to be...
They're a super young team, and they won 90 games last year.
Yeah, and in the best division in baseball.
Yeah.
Which is incredibly impressive. You put them in any other division, they probably would have won above 100. You put them, instead of playing in Buffalo and Florida for half the year, you put them in Toronto, they're winning maybe 110 games, 120. Who knows?
And they got hot as the season went on.
Yeah.
So without that slow start, who knows what happens?
Yeah, and now that they have this, I don't want to say veteran leadership, but they have this sense of, we've been there before, we were almost there last year, we need to make it this year.
Yeah.
And they're going to be battling. There's a lot of personal vendettas out there with some of the players in the league, some of the teams in the league. So I think this is year. I would say that there's. I was going to say Super Bowl, World Series hopeful. I think right now you could look going to next year. Dodgers, Braves, Blue Jays.
I think the Braves have to be up there because they won the World Series without Acuna.
And Soroka. Yeah. Soroka is incredible. Hopefully he's back. His career could even be over. We don't really know yet, but there's Blue Jays are in the hunt. I would not be scarce to bet on them next year.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
they look good.
Yeah, I like them a lot. But to end off the show, we were thinking, because there's quite a few massive games in the NFL this week, and
we haven't done predictions in a long time. I think we only did week 1.
Yeah, we did week 1. We did pretty good, I think.
I don't remember.
But I'm curious to see how our standing predictions hold up by the end of the year, because at the beginning it looked really bad when
a lot of them I don't remember. You know what's funny? I picked the Patriots to win the AFC East in March, but that was for a completely different reason as to why they're winning now.
Yeah.
Cam Newton was still the quarterback.
Yeah,
they were just coming off free agency, and I was hyping up Jonnu Smith when Hunter Henry is now taking over as number 1 tight end.
And you said it to Joe, I think, on the show, and he was baffled.
Yeah. Well, I think when Joe came on, I kind of backtracked. I was like, okay, maybe I was overreacting to free agency. I wasn't. Matthew Judon has been
so good.
So good. Hunter Henry's panned out. Even the receivers, Kendrick Bourne's been good. Yeah. Aguilar's been okay.
Stevenson was a great pick.
I wanted Atlanta to take him in the draft. He's like 5'11", 230. He's a mini tank.
He's a monster.
I don't want to say mini Derrick Henry, but like
he's a rookie and he's racking him up right now.
Yeah. So.
But yeah, let's we can start off our we got the rematch from a week before last week, or week 12, I should say. Ravens Browns. Browns are at home, so I'm taking the Ravens because every year the Browns and the Ravens face twice. I swear.
Of course, they're in the same division.
They're in the same division. Browns somehow take one every year. That 4 interception week for Lamar was their chance, and they absolutely blew it.
Yeah. So I saw a stat. I showed it to you after the game happened. I think the last 55 times somebody's thrown 4 interceptions. Teams are 1-54, and the one win was Baltimore against Cleveland.
The fact that they didn't win that game was unbelievable.
I can actually see the Browns winning this game, coming off a bye. They have a little bit of rest.
Yeah, much needed rest for that team.
So I could see the Ravens losing this one because Lamar didn't even play. He didn't play good last week against Pittsburgh either, and Pittsburgh has a good defense. So
yeah,
but still, Lamar's kind of in a slump right now. So I'm gonna go with Cleveland in a close game, but I could see it going either way.
Once again, you have more faith than me. I'm going Ravens. I think Lamar's going to have a good...
The Browns are too good to be this bad.
I know. It's just like... It's so annoying. It's like there's so much talent.
Their roster is so good, but it's
so annoying.
Underperforming.
But yeah, I go Ravens because I think Lamar has a bounce-back game. Also, I think Bateman's going to have a good night. Or day, I
just dropped him in fantasy, so I hope
I picked him up.
I had to. I did pick up Madison because Dalvin Cook can't stay healthy.
Madison's automatic when Dalvin Cook is out.
He's honestly better. He's been better than
he has. Cook. Hasn't he had like 120, 140 rushing yards in those 2 games?
Well, he's Cook's missed 3 games, and I think Madison's gone over 20 each time.
Yeah. So he's averaged 110 or something like that.
I don't know what he's averaged. I just kind of look at the fantasy points.
Yeah. So
not a Vikings fan.
Incredibly impressive. Be happy to be a Vikings. I guess don't be happy. They just lost to the Lions. What am I saying?
Fun fact: the Detroit Lions have won more home games in the last year than the Falcons have.
That's crazy.
And the Lions have 1 win overall in the last 365 days.
And the Atlanta home win wasn't even at home; it was in London.
That's what I mean to say. They haven't won in Atlanta. They won in London. They beat the Jets in London.
Oh my god! And they almost didn't beat the Jets. The Jets almost took it because Hurst blew it twice, right?
Yeah. Kyle Pitts breakout game. Hasn't broke out since.
Yeah.
No, he had a game against Miami, but ever since then he's been quiet.
Yeah. I think this will be a good week for him. I guess the Panthers. They're gonna have to defer to him a lot.
Yeah, Panthers are a mess.
Yeah,
but let's not do that game. That's a terrible game.
Cowboys Washington. That's a good one.
That's divisional battle. A lot more interesting.
Yeah, these are the. I think you and me both said top 2 teams in the division: Dallas and then Washington.
I think everybody said that.
Yeah, and when the season started, I think Washington was like 2-6, 2-5. They're 6-6 now.
They've won like 4 or 5 in a row.
Yeah, their defense has looked really good. Heineke has been a good game manager. The run game's been real nice with Gibson and McKissick.
They hold the ball. They're
so long.
They closed out the Bucs with an 11-minute drive. They did the same thing to Seattle the next week. They held the ball for like 42 minutes.
They're like the Chiefs somehow.
The Chiefs.
The Chiefs hold the ball a lot. At least when I see them play the Browns, they'll hold the ball for 9 minutes of each quarter. It's incredible.
No, but they're a very methodical team somehow. Yeah. But
I love watching Washington play. McLaurin is so fun to watch too. Sims is nice.
Yeah, Dallas I think is going to win this game. Is it in Washington?
It's in Washington.
Okay, so I think they'll split overall. So I'm gonna take Washington. So it's interesting going forward because then they're only a game back with 4 games to go and it'll be fun.
And they play each other again, so that next battle is going to be huge. All right, yeah. So
I think they split. So whoever doesn't win this week will win the next.
Yeah, I think Cowboys win this one, and then Washington takes it the next one around. But the next game we got the Raiders taking on the Chiefs. That's always a good game. Raiders always give the Chiefs a tough fight.
Except last time they played.
Yeah, I should say last year they gave them a good fight both times, but. Yeah, I think
last year.
The Chiefs have just figured it out to the point now. Well, they already had it figured out. There was too much hate.
They've won 5 straight, but the offense is still kind of eh.
Yeah.
But their last game that they played really well was against the Raiders, so I'm going to say they bounce back again and get back on track.
Yeah. And even if their offense hasn't been that great, but the fact that their defense has been able to hold it down lately is incredibly important because their defense has been a lot of their problem. Mm-hmm. So once you get the offense going, There's not too much you can do to stop
them. You
them.
don't have that much time left.
Exactly.
There's only 4 or 5 weeks left.
They really.
And we've been saying the same thing about the Chiefs all season. About they need to figure it out.
It's incredible how they haven't figured it out, but I
still believe in them.
Yeah, I still have complete faith in that team and their coaching, and I just can't see them losing. Oh, I can absolutely see them losing this game, but when it's a team below 500, they're not taking the L.
Yeah.
Moving on to our, I guess 49ers Bengals. That's a good one. I like that one.
That is a good one. I got Bengals. Because Deebo Samuel's still out, I think.
Yeah, I think Bengals as well. They need to have a bounce-back game because last week against the Chargers was pretty brutal.
It started off bad. They came back in it, but it was too late.
Yeah. T. Higgins coming alive. Love to see that. Jamar Chase.
Not me. I dropped him in fantasy. So many players that I dropped in fantasy have started. Him, Pittman. So many players, but whatever.
But I think the Bengals take this one. I think it'll be a good game because 49ers defensively are pretty solid.
Yeah.
It'll come down to Garoppolo.
They gave up 30 to Seattle last week. Seattle's been
struggling.
But it was also a division game, so that'll be a good game. I think the Bengals will take it.
Yeah, Bengals take it. Probably move to 8-5. That hunt for the AFC right now is ridiculous. Yeah. Every team in their division, Browns, Bengals, Steelers, all in the hunt, and the Ravens are number 1. So, oh my goodness, it's going to be tough. But then we got Bills, Buccaneers. What a game that's going to be.
I think the Bucs are going to blow them out.
I think the Bucs are going to blow them out too. I think the exact same thing because the Bills have just they haven't looked bad, but they just haven't looked like themselves. I think their defense. I just don't think they're going to be able to stop them. Brady is. I feel like this is going to be the game of the year for the Buccaneers, not for watching. It's going to be a slaughter. I think.
Yeah, this will be a statement.
Yeah.
And Buffalo's obviously upset based off of how they reacted to
the
disaster that was Monday night. Losing.
Yeah, can we comment on that? 3 throws. 2 of them were screen passes.
I've never seen anything like that before. I don't know if I told you this or somebody else, but that was the most boring game I've ever watched, but also one of the most impressive games I've ever watched 100%. In my life.
We were watching it, I was watching with my roommates, and we were trying to deliberate what the hell was what we were watching. Because one, it was okay, is Mac Jones hurt? That's why they're not throwing? Is it because it's too cold?
He's definitely not hurt.
Yeah.
It was just more, it was a game plan thing.
Yeah, it's a game plan. Maybe it's because it's too cold. Then it got to the point where it's is this just a statement from Belichick to go I don't need a quarterback to win games. I can beat you with just my run game. See you, Brady. Thought it could be that. I don't know. But it just came down to the game plan of being cold. He hadn't ever seen snow before, 4 years ago, apparently. Mm-hmm. But what an incredible game from the Patriots, especially their defense too, to hold Buffalo.
And what Kyle Duggar, he's been a breakout player for them this year. He didn't play. Either he didn't play or he got hurt in the game, and his backup made the play of the game. Yeah. That's what separates the Patriots from everybody else. They have so much depth, and they're so well coached to where even if somebody goes out, they're so disciplined that they're not going to make mistakes.
Exactly. It's next man up mentality, and every single guy, they're not nervous when they come in. They know they're ready for that moment because Belichick has bred them for it.
Do your job.
Yeah, and I think you said it. You were the one. Yeah, you said it. The Steelers and the Patriots this year are showing that good coaching can win a game. Yeah. Any night.
It shows just those two teams show how important coaching is.
Yeah.
When you have that head coach, everything else kind of just falls into place. It doesn't matter what you have on your roster. The Steelers have a washed-up Big Ben, and they're still finding ways to win games. Yeah. Why is that? Because they have great coaching. All their players are well coached, and they just do their job.
Yeah, and they draft very well.
Yeah.
They know exactly what they need going into the season. They fill every hole, and they battle. Every single year for the last couple of years, last 3 or 4 years, people said, okay, this is maybe Pittsburgh's year to decline, and then they still find ways to win games.
Mike Tomlin still hasn't had a losing season yet. It's been 15 years.
Yeah, he's one of the greatest coaches ever.
He is.
Easily.
And he's only 45 years old or something like that.
He's got a long way to go.
He was very young when he took over, and he still hasn't had a losing season.
Yeah, I wonder if he'll give Belichick a run for his money. He's not too far off right now, is he?
Well,
he's probably 100.
He's only won. Oh, wins wise,
I guess.
Well, I saw a stat that
maybe.
I saw a stat that he was, I think, the 4th youngest coach or the 4th fastest coach to get to 150 wins.
That's pretty remarkable, especially.
It was Don Shula and a couple other people.
Yeah.
But I mean, it shows you how good of a coach he is.
Exactly.
And how stupid those USC rumors were. Keep going.
Yeah. And then moving on to our final game, Monday night game, gonna be a battle. The Cardinals against the Rams.
I think it'll be a close game. But I think where is it? LA?
It's Arizona. I think the Rams. I think this is finally the time that they win.
We cursed them.
We did. We
cursed everybody.
Yeah. I don't know. We're like the Drake jersey wearing of
Or the Drake curse of.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the Drake curse is sports, so
yeah, exactly.
We're the new Drake curse.
We're the new Drake. We're Drake. But
I
yeah.
wish.
What are we talking about? Oh yeah, Rams Cardinals. Kyler's still coming off the injury. He didn't have a great week last week.
He looked pretty good last week.
They were all right. Yeah.
But the whole thing with last week is that he didn't have many yards because they would get the ball so close to the end zone.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
he didn't have to do much. He was kind of like Baker against the Steelers last year in the playoffs. So he didn't really have to do much. Just don't throw an interception.
Who did they even play?
The Cardinals?
Yeah.
The Bears.
Okay.
I think it was 33-22. It was a good game. But yeah, I think the Rams take this one because Stafford has been not great of late. Beckham's looking real good in that lineup. Kupp every night is going out there and putting up 100+. But it's time for that defense to figure itself out.
Yeah, that's my only issue with them.
Yeah.
Which is weird to say because going into the season, that was their strength. But
yeah. But at the end of the day, also, I can easily see the Cardinals taking it in convincing fashion. But at the end of the day, when it comes to playoff time, I don't have faith in the Cardinals yet.
I feel the pain of Rams fans. It seems like when one side of the ball is good, the other isn't.
Yeah.
That's exactly what happened to the Falcons when they went to the Super Bowl, and the next year their offense was terrible, but their defense was good.
Literally.
It's very frustrating.
It's tough. But I mean, they're going to figure out. They got great coaching. They got a lot of guys that just know what they're doing. They
have talent everywhere.
Yeah, everywhere. There's no reason this team shouldn't win every game they play. But it comes down to, how are you playing that day? How are you feeling that day? What's the system? What's the game plan? What's the other team's approach? What's the weather like? You never know. But
well, they're inside, so it doesn't matter.
Exactly, yeah. But you're going Cardinals or are you going Rams?
I don't know. I'll go Cardinals, actually.
I'm going to go Rams because I feel like if we go Cardinals, the Rams are going to win. So I'm going Rams. But I don't really know what's going to happen.
How are your bold predictions going? I forget what they were.
Trevor Lawrence breaking the touchdown record. Rookie touchdown
break the interception record.
He's going to break the interception record.
No, that's Zach Wilson.
Oh, yeah, that is Zach Wilson.
Well, he did miss games, so
yeah.
I don't know.
What was the other ones? I think I had like Baker having a comeback of the year season.
Something like that.
I think I said he might get like the MVP rank.
This.
That wasn't like, I didn't believe that. That was just a bold take.
I mean, these are all bold takes. My three were Justin Fields is going to lead the Bears to the playoffs.
Oh, yeah. No, I think one of them was like he's going to start at a certain point. You got that right.
I got that right, that he took over early in the season. And for like a week, they were in a playoff spot.
Yeah, they were doing well.
A week. And then I did Myles Garrett breaking the sack record.
Yeah. Dude, that might happen.
If anything, it's going to be TJ Watt.
You think so?
He's leading the league in sacks, and he's missed 2
games.
Yeah,
because Garrett didn't play last week.
He has 16 with 5 left.
16? Garrett has 14 right now.
Yeah. And then I did Kyle Pitts will go over 1,000 yards, which still could happen,
but he needs to turn it on at the end of this year.
Yeah.
For sure.
But
what's he at right now? 400? 500?
No, he's over 6. He may be at 7. Maybe.
Really?
I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
He's been very quiet ever since Ridley went out. So
do you think Ridley's going to come back?
I don't know. I don't even want to speculate anything.
Yeah, it's a tough situation.
It's a matter of him getting better first.
Yeah. Well, hopefully he does.
Yeah.
But on that note,
I think it's time to wrap up. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Comment down below, and we'll see y'all next week. Take it easy.
Stay wild.
Peace. Messed that up.